Hello and welcome to History and Facts, where we discover facts about days through the year. Please remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Today we are looking at August 21st through the years. August 21st is the 233rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. 132 days remain until the end of the year. Some of the days associated with August 21st include World Senior Citizens Day, National Brazilian Blowout Day and National Youth Day. Okay, we checked those off, so let's dive in with Number 1. The Jin Song Wars. On the 21st of August 1140, legendary Song General Yue Fei faced overwhelming odds as Jin forces led by Wuju stormed into Yancheng with over 100,000 troops. Yue Fei commanded less than a third of that, but his strategy was flawless. Using elite cavalry, disciplined infantry, and the famous Guaizi Ma tactic, combining flanking cavalry strikes with ground support, he shattered Jin formations. Officers like Yang Zixing charged boldly into the fray, and when the dust settled, the Jin army was forced to retreat, leaving behind thousands of casualties and over 200 captured horses. This stunning victory halted Jin momentum and earned Yue Fei eternal acclaim. His army was so unbreakable, even enemies said, "To shake the mountains is easy. To shake Yue Fei's army is nearly impossible." Though court politics later sealed his tragic fate, his legacy lives on as a symbol of loyalty, patriotism, and tactical brilliance. Number 2. Father-son negotiations. In the summer of 1331, Serbia teetered on the edge of collapse. King Stefan Uroš III, once hailed for his victory over Bulgaria at Velbaj, had alienated his nobles by refusing to press the advantage against Byzantium. Discontent brewed, and his own son, Stefan Dušan, emerged as the rallying point for a faction hungry for expansion and reform. By early spring, father and son were locked in a cold civil war. Uroš III sent forces into Zeta to suppress Dušan, but the young prince outmaneuvered them, crossing the Bojana River and seizing key strongholds. A brief peace followed, but it was a lull, not a resolution. By August, Dušan marched on Petric, where his father had taken refuge. With his treasury captured and support crumbling, Uroš III surrendered on the 21st of August 1331. Dušan, urged by his advisors, placed his father under confinement and assumed the throne within weeks. His coronation marked the beginning of a new era, one of legal reform, territorial ambition, and imperial vision. Under Dušan's rule, Serbia would expand dramatically, and by 1346, he would be crowned emperor of the Serbs, Greeks, and Albanians. But it all began with a son confronting his father, not in rebellion alone, but in pursuit of a stronger, unified realm. Number 3. The Inspirations of Tycho. A 14-year-old boy stands in a quiet courtyard. It's the year 1560, the world around him hushed by the approach of a solar eclipse. As sunlight dims and the sky slips into eerie twilight, young Tycho Brahe watches with breathless awe. He's not marveling at the celestial drama alone. He's stunned by how the scholars predicted it to the very minute. This wasn't magic. It was mathematics. That eclipse becomes the fissure in a life laid out for law, sparking a rebellious shift toward the stars. Fast forward. Tycho becomes a relentless observer, building the most precise astronomical instruments Europe had ever seen. Without telescopes, he charted planets and stars with near-perfect accuracy. Though he clung to an Earth-centric model, his data was pure gold. It reached the hands of Johannes Kepler, who used it to carve the laws of planetary motion, and help reshape humanity's place in the cosmos. Tycho's legacy isn't just in measurements, it's in the mindset he pioneered, a bridge between mystical astrology and empirical science. His observatory at Uraniborg became the prototype for scientific research centers. He showed that careful observation could challenge dogma, and that curiosity, sparked in a moment of cosmic wonder, could ripple across centuries. All because a boy looked up and asked, how did they know? Number 4. The Battle of Dunkeld. The tranquil town of Dunkeld erupted into chaos on 21st of August 1689, as it became ground zero for the first Jacobite Rising. Following the death of Viscount Dundee at Killiecrankie, Jacobite forces under Brigadier General Alexander Cannon pushed south toward Perth, aiming to reclaim momentum. Their target, Dunkeld, guarded by the Cameronians, a regiment of staunch Presbyterian Covenanters led by Lieutenant Colonel William Cleland. Just 1,200 strong, they were tasked with holding the town, at all costs, and they would make every street and stone count. With no defensive walls, Cleland's men fortified Dunkeld Cathedral and Athol House, turning sacred and civic spaces into last bastions. The Jacobites, nearly 5,000 in number, assaulted from all sides. Cleland was dispatched early in the fighting, but the Cameronians refused to falter. Ammunition ran low, so they stripped lead from rooftops to forge new rounds. In scenes more akin to medieval siege than modern warfare, Jacobite forces were flushed from buildings as defenders set parts of the town ablaze. By nightfall, the Jacobites withdrew, leaving behind around 300 dispatched, while Dunkeld lay in ruins. Today, the cathedral still bears musket scars from that day, and Cleland's grave rests within its walls, marked only by his name, but etched deep in Scottish memory. Number 5, In the Name of the King. In August 1770, after months of perilous navigation along Australia's uncharted east coast, Lieutenant James Cook reached the northern tip of the continent aboard the Endeavour. On Possession Island, he climbed to its highest point and, in the name of King George III, formally claimed the entire eastern coastline for Great Britain, naming it New South Wales. This act followed Cook's secret orders to annex any lands not already claimed by European powers, and it marked a turning point in global imperial history. Cook's declaration came after surviving shipwreck on the Great Barrier Reef, forging tense encounters with indigenous communities, and collecting vast scientific data. Though he noted the land offered little for trade, his claim laid the groundwork for Britain's colonization, and just 18 years later, the first fleet would arrive to establish a penal colony. Cook's journal entry from the 22nd of August records the moment. "I now once more hoisted English colors, and took possession of the whole eastern coast." A symbolic act that echoed far beyond the shores of Possession Island. Number 6, The Missing Mona. On the 21st of August 1911, Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman and former Louvre employee, stole the Mona Lisa in a calculated act that stunned the art world. Disguised in a white museum smock, he entered the Louvre while it was closed, removed the painting from its protective case and frame, and hid it beneath his clothing. Trapped behind a locked service door, he was freed by a passing plumber and vanished into the Paris streets, taking Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece with him. The theft went unnoticed until the following day, sending shockwaves through France. The museum closed for a week, and avant-garde figures like Picasso and Apollinaire were detained during the investigation. Meanwhile, Peruggia hid the painting inside a false bottom trunk in his apartment for over 2 years. He later claimed he wanted to return it to Italy out of patriotism, believing Napoleon had stolen it, though the painting had in fact entered France in the 16th century as a gift to King Francis I in 1913. Peruggia contacted a Florence art dealer and offered to sell the Mona Lisa for 500,000 lire. The dealer alerted the police, and Peruggia was arrested with the painting recovered unharmed. After a brief tour of Italy, it was returned to the Louvre. The theft transformed the Mona Lisa from a respected Renaissance portrait into a global icon, its mysterious smile now etched into the memory of a century. Number 7, The Demon Core. On the night of the 21st of August 1945, physicist Harry Daghlian returned alone to the Omega site at Los Alamos to continue a criticality experiment. He was building a neutron reflector by stacking tungsten carbide bricks around a 6.2 kilograms plutonium-gallium core, the same core originally intended for a third atomic bomb. As he reached to place the final brick, neutron counters warned that the assembly was approaching supercriticality. While attempting to withdraw the brick, Daghlian dropped it directly onto the core, triggering a prompt critical reaction. A burst of neutron radiation flooded the room. Daghlian tried to disassemble the stack to halt the reaction, but he had already received a fatal dose. Over the next 25 days, he suffered from acute radiation syndrome, eventually falling into a coma, passing away on the 15th of September 1945. He was the first known fatality of the Demon Core accident. The incident led to stricter safety protocols at Los Alamos, but the same core would claim another life. Physicist Louis Slotin, from that moment on, the sphere was dubbed the Demon Core. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed your visit to history and facts. If you did enjoy the video, or find it interesting, we have many more coming. So please like, comment, and subscribe to be notified when we release a new video. See you next time.